Father, I thank you today again. Thank you for bringing us again into this class. I thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for using me to teach this student this moment. As I teach them, oh God, give them a better understanding. In Jesus' mighty name, we have prayed. In Jesus' mighty name.
Amen.
Okay, let's quickly look at what we have today. My name is Mr. Elams Haruna. I'm here to teach you basic technology JSS2. The topic I have with me is belt and chain drive. 1. Belt and chain drive 1. Right? We'll be looking at the lesson objective, the objective of the lesson, what you are expected to know at the end of this class, the lesson objectives. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to define drive mechanism, to list examples of drive mechanism, define belt. Define belt. Okay, that should be define belt and chain drive. That should be define belt and chain drive. Exactly. Define belt drive, or definition of belt drive and type and the types. 4. Define flat, variable, and V-belt and pulley. And 5, you should be able to list advantages and disadvantages of belt drive and uses. And 6, you'll be able to list different applications of belt drive. I'll go back again. At the end of the lesson, students should be able, 1, to define drive mechanism. 2, to list examples of drive mechanism. 3, you should be able to define belt drive and their types. You should be able to define belt drive and the types. 4, you should be able to define flat, variable, that is flat belt, variable belt, and V-belt and pulley. Okay. And 5, you should be able to list advantages and disadvantages of belt drive. And 6, you should be able to list different applications of belt drive. At the end of the class, I believe God will help you to remember all of this. In Jesus' name that we prayed earlier on. Okay, let's look at definition of terms. Definitions of terms. What is a drive mechanism? What is a drive mechanism? What is a drive mechanism? Okay, listen, mute your device to avoid interference. There are noise from the background. Mute your device. Mute your device. There are noise. Yes, yes, that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, what is the definition of drive mechanism? A drive mechanism is defined as a combination of machines or parts A drive mechanism is defined as a combination of machines or part of a machine used in transmitting power from one point to another. A drive mechanism is defined as a combination of machines or part of a machine used in transmitting power from one point to another. The drive mechanism is used to transmit rotary motion from one shaft to another. The drive mechanism is used to transmit rotary motion from one shaft to another. Is that clear? That is, a drive mechanism, according to the definition, is used majorly for transmitting power from one point to another. Is that clear? Just note the keyword there. The keyword is that it is used for transmitting power from one point to another. That is the major keyword. Is that clear? Just note the keywords. Okay. Let's look at the examples or types of drive mechanism. What are the examples? We've seen what a drive mechanism is all about. What are the examples of drive mechanism? There are three types of drive mechanism. Number one type, we have belt and pulley drive. The number two, we have chain drive. And number three, we have gear drive. Three types of drive mechanism: belt and pulley drive, chain drive, and gear drive. Belt and pulley drive, chain drive, and gear drive. Okay, we're going to be looking at the definition of all of these types of drive mechanism one after the other. Okay, let's start with the belt drive and pulley. The belt drive and pulley. What is a belt drive and pulley? A belt drive and pulley is a strip of rubber or some other I take that again. Belt drive and pulley is a strip of rubber or some other flexible material that is looped over two or more pulleys. A belt drive and pulley is a strip of rubber or some other flexible material that is looped over two or more pulleys. belt cannot produce.
Sir,
Yes, I can hear you.
sir, please, what is pulley?
No, don't worry. I will explain all of this. I will explain all of this.
Okay, sir.
Just get the definition. Belt cannot provide positive drive because slip occurs from time to time. Belt cannot provide positive drive because slip occurs from time to time. Okay, let me explain a belt and a pulley. I believe many of you have seen tomatoes grinding machine before, right? A tomatoes grinding machine. Now,
Sir.
yes.
Sir.
Yes, I can hear you. Speak up.
Sir.
Speak up.
I can't hear you very well.
Pardon?
I can't hear you. The network is breaking.
No, maybe.
I can't hear you. The network is breaking.
Maybe it should be as a result of the network in your area. It should be the network in your area. Okay, that notwithstanding, I'll be repeating myself so that if you have network challenge, at least you still get one or two things that I'm going to say. Is that clear? Okay, like I said.
Yes, sir.
Okay, many of you have seen tomatoes grinding machine before now. True or false? That's correct. Now you can see.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can see that a tomatoes grinding machine has a belt. A belt that is attached to the motor, right? Okay, the chamber where you put the tomatoes, that's the compartment where you put the tomatoes. Can be tomatoes, it can be pepper, it can be millet or maize. If you want to grab all of these things, the chamber where you pour the tomatoes or the millet or the pepper, right, is different from the motor that is connected to electric current if it's powered by electricity. But if it is powered by diesel or fuel, right, you see the motor is different from the chamber that that is meant for the tomatoes and so on. Now, the one that is powered by fuel or electricity, right, you need to use a belt. You need a belt to link the chamber where you can pour, where you pour the tomatoes and the okay, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry if you cannot hear me clearly. For those that are having network challenge, if you cannot hear me clearly, you will still get this video on YouTube. Is that clear? And the voice recording. Is that clear? Now, for you to link the motor or the rotor, the turning rotor, and the chamber where you pour the tomatoes, you need a belt. That belt is a strip of rubber, right? Now, the part where you link, where you put the belt is called the pulley. Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
The part where you link the belt. Okay, let me use my hand, for example. Can you see my hands? Now, if this is a chamber, my left hand is a chamber where you pour the tomatoes, right? And this, my right hand is the rotor or the motor that will turn, that is connected to electricity or is powered by a fuel. Now, you need, when you on this rotor or the motor, as it's spinning or turning, you need a belt to link the two. The point where you put the belt is called the pulley. Did you get it? Did you get the difference between pulley and belt now? The belt itself is a strip of rubber, right? That is used to link from the rotor to the chamber where you pour the tomatoes. Exactly. I believe that is well understood. I believe that is well understood. Okay, let's go, let's continue. Okay, we have types of belt and pulley. We have types of belt and pulley. Types of belt and pulley. Types of belt and pulley. There are 3 types of belt drive, base. There are 3 types of belt drive based on their applications or based on their shape, rather, based on the shape of the belt. Now, you know, David, stop disturbing this class, or else I will remove you from the class immediately. Stop making noise. Just pay rapid attention, exactly. Like I said, we have 3 types of belt drive based on the shape of the belt. The number 1 type of belt is called straight or flat belt. Straight or flat belt. The number 2 type is V belt or V-shape or cross belt. Either you call it V-shape belt or you call it cross belt. Exactly. And number 3 type of belt is called the variable belt. The variable belt. Don't worry, there are diagrams for all of these belts. We'll be seeing the definitions and the pictures of all of these belts. The number 1 is the straight belt. Let's quickly look at the shape of a straight or flat belt. Okay, what is a straight or flat belt and pulley? What is a straight or flat belt and pulley? Here, the 2 pulleys joined by the belt rotate in the same direction. Here, the 2 pulleys joined by the belt rotate in the same direction. It can be used as a conveyor to move load from one point to another. It can be used as a conveyor to move load from one point to another. Okay, let's see the picture. The picture will give us a better explanation on the straight belt. Okay, this is a picture of a flat belt and pulley. Like I said, I use a tomatoes grinding machine to explain a belt and pulley before now. Why am I using tomatoes grinding machine? Because it is the most common belt, flat belt and pulley we have around us. Is the most common flat belt and pulley. That is why I'm using tomatoes grinding machine. There are other machines that make use of flat belt, but I'm just restricting myself to this tomatoes grinding machine because it is common to us. It is something that many of us have seen before now. Now, like I said, the rotor, the rotor, that is the driver, right? The part that you connect to electricity or that is powered by fuel is called the driver. Exactly, or the drive. Did you get it? Now, the chamber where you pour the tomatoes is called the driven. That is, the chamber where you pour the tomatoes also have a shaft and a pulley that is linked with a belt. If you look at the diagram critically, you can see the direction of the arrows. The arrows move in the same direction. The arrows are moving in the same direction. Is that clear? That is to say, both the driver and the driven, either the driver or the drive pulley or the driver, as the case may be, either the driver or the drive is the same name. Is that clear? Both the driver pulley and the driven pulley are moving in the same direction. Is that clear? Is that clear? You can see a belt linking the two pulleys together. This is an example, a practical example of how a flat belt or a straight belt look like. Is that clear? Any question before I go on? Any question from anybody? Any question?
Sir, are the wheels flat?
The wheels, you mean flat? No. They are circular. That is, it is circular, it is cycle. Do you understand me? It is not flat, but it is circular. But it is the belt that is flat.
Do they move at Sir, but did they move at the same time?
Tisan, sit down properly. Your video, I don't, yes. Okay, who is talking?
Sir, it's me.
Okay, speak up. Speak up now, ask your question.
I've asked my question.
Let me repeat the question again.
I asked you if the wheels were flat.
No, the wheels are circular. They are circular.
Okay, sir.
Round.
Okay, sir.
Any other question?
Sir. No, sir.
Do they move at the same time?
Yes, they move at the same time. As long as the driver is rotating in a circular, definitely the driver, if you link the driver with the driven with a belt, they move at the same time. Take for example, a tomatoes grinding machine, like I said earlier on, right?
Yes, sir.
Both, if you are grinding your tomatoes, both the driver and the driven move the same time. You understand me? That will help you to finish up your grinding easily. Is that clear? Any other question before I?
Yeah.
Any other question? Okay, let's continue. Okay. The next one is V-belt or cross belt and pulley. V-belt or cross belt and pulley. This is a type of belt with V shape. This is a type of belt with V shape. Here, the two pulleys joined by the belt rotate in opposite direction. Did you get it? V-belt or cross belt and pulley, this is a type of belt with V shape. Full stop. Here, the two pulleys joined by the belt rotate in opposite direction. Okay, let's look at the picture. The picture will give us a practical example of how a V-belt looks like. Okay, this is a picture of a V-belt. Just as the name implies, V, it forms a V shape. Exactly. Now, look at the diagram very well. You can see there is a driver pulley. Somebody is talking. If you are, hello, listen. Who is talking? Do not disturb this class. Okay. Now the V-belt and pulley. Do not disturb this class, like I said. If you disturb this class, we'll remove you immediately without hesitation. Now, you can see the V-belt and pulley. You can see the driver pulley, and the driven pulley. That driver pulley is the one driving. Take for example, let me use a practical example now, but it is not a good example, but it will give you a better understanding. Now, if you are in the car with a parent, either your mom or your dad or your uncle or your guardian, now you are sitting on, let's say, in the car, and your dad or your mom or somebody is driving, right? You are the driven. The person driving you is the driver. I believe that analogy is correct. The person driving you is the driver. But you that are just sitting inside the car, you are the driven. Is that clear? Now, that is the same application of a driver and a driven pulley. Is that clear? That is the same application. Now, like I said, you can see the belt. The belt of a V shape, the belt moves in the same direction, but the pulley moves in opposite direction. You can see the arrows of the driver pulley and the driven pulley. You can see both are moving in opposite direction. That is the difference between the flat belt and the V-belt. For the flat belt, both the driver and the pulley are moving in the same direction. But in V-belt, the driver is moving opposite direction, and the driven is also both the driver and the driven are moving in opposite direction, but the belt is moving in the same direction. Is that clear? Let's continue. Let's continue. Our next is the next is variable belts. Variable belt and pulley. Variable belt and pulley. This can be used in engine to change. This can be used in engine to change the speed between the driver pulley and the driven pulley without stopping the engine. Without stopping the engine. Variable belt and pulley, this can be used in an engine to change the speed between the driver and the driven pulley without stopping the engine. Now, okay, let's look at the diagram, the picture. Our time is running fast. I have to increase my speed so that I'll be able to finish up this topic quickly. This is the picture of a variable belt and pulley. Speak up.
We're going to send the notes to us.
Yes. Wait. But make sure you jot down something, because at the end of this class, I have questions for you. Exactly. Now, the variable belt and pulley. You can see we have 3 pulleys. We have 3 pulleys. Why 3 pulleys? Now, you can see we have the pulley at my left-hand side is the driven. The pulley at my right-hand side is the driver. And under them, we have the idler. Why these 3 pulleys? Why these 3 pulleys? The reason because in a variable belt, if you link belts together, that is not V belt, that is not V shape. Both the driver and the driven will move in the same direction. Now, if you don't want the driver and the driven to move in the same direction, you introduce what is called idler. You introduce what is called idler. Idler will change the direction of the driven. Who is disturbing this class?
Stephanie.
I will remove you now. If you dare disturb this class again, I will remove you from this class. Do not disturb this class. Our time is fast spent. This thing is disturbing. Okay, let's continue. Okay, let's continue. The next is advantages of belt drive. What are the advantages of belt drive? The number 1 advantage, inexpensive and easy to design, produce, and maintain. The number 2, high efficiency. The number 3, quieter in operation. I'll take that again. Advantages of belt drive. They are inexpensive to design, produce, and maintain. They have high efficiency. They are quieter in operation. That is, belt drive. They are very easy to design. They are very easy to maintain and to produce. They have high efficiency. They are quieter in operation. That means they don't make noise during operation. What are the disadvantages? Number one advantage is that they slip under excessive load. Take for example, if you are using a tomatoes grinding machine, from morning, let's say 7 a.m. to the next morning, definitely, the belt will be so hot, and before you know, either the belt will break or cut, or there will be slippage. The belt will just slip because of excessive load. Okay, the uses of belt drive. The uses. They are used as conveyor to transfer load. They are used as conveyors to transfer loads. Uses. They are used as a conveyor to transfer load. Applications of belt drive. What are the applications? The number one application. They are used in cassava grinding machines. Number two application. They are used for the radiators.
Sir, please, I can't hear you.
He said, speak up. Speak up, I can hear you. They are used. Okay. You can see the applications, right? Now, they are used, number three, they are used for tape recorders and video cassette players. They are used for tape recorders and video cassette players. Number four applications. They are used in the engines of automobiles. Example, Volkswagen, which is also known as tortoise car. Number five, they are used in block making machine. Block making machine. That is, okay, so I believe this comes to the end of our class. I believe you have questions for me before I will give you my own questions. I believe you have questions for me. Anybody? Questions?
No, sir.
No, if you don't have questions, just keep your mouth shut. Maybe, probably one or two persons might have a question for me. Any question? Any question for me? Any question? That means the class and the lesson is well understood. Okay, let's go to questions. Practical questions.
Yes, sir.
Practical questions. Objective questions. The number one question. A force which opposes motion is called what?
Pull.
A force?
Sir,
Yes, I can hear you.
there is friction. See.
Do not give me chorus answer until I call you before you give me the answer. Until I called you before you give me the answer. What's the answer to the question?
Sir, pull.
What's the answer? If just put up your hand, I will call you if you know the answer to the question. If you know the answer to the question, okay, and now you want to give us the answer?
Sir, the answer is friction.
Is what?
Friction.
Speak up, I can hear you.
Sir, the answer is friction.
Friction, correct, that's good. Correct, correct. Friction opposes motion. Question number 2, our time. Okay, question number 2. Our process of applying a substance to a machine part in order to reduce friction is called dash. A process of applying a substance to a machine part in order to reduce friction is called dash. What is the correct answer? What is the correct answer?
Lubrication.
Do not give me.
Lubrication.
Yes, but do not give me chorus answer. But the answer is correct. Lubrication is the process of applying substance in machine part or to machine part in order to reduce friction. Correct, that's correct. Question number 3. Block molding machine is an application of dash. It's an application of dash. Block molding machine is an application of dash drive. What is the answer? What is the answer?
Belt drive. Belt drive.
Correct. Block molding machine is an application of a belt drive. Okay, question number 4. There are dash types of drive mechanism. There are dash types of drive mechanism. How many types of drive mechanism do we have? How many types?
Sir.
Just put up your hand. Let me see.
Okay, sir.
Lawrence?
3 types.
There are 3. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Any objection to that question, Seth? Do you have a different answer to the question? Seth?
No, sir.
Okay, that's correct. That's good. Okay, let's look at all the answers. Can you see the answers? The number 1, these are all the possible answers. Answer to question number 1, C, friction. Answer to question number 2, A, lubrication. Answer to question number 3, A, belt drive. Answer to question number 4, C, 3 types of belt drive. You are all correct. Okay, let me give you an assignment. This is an assignment. Very simple. The assignment is as easy as drinking your water. Okay, number 1, you have to mention 3 advantages of belt drive. Number 2, you have to list 3 types of belt and pulley. Very simple. Very simple. I know many of you can give me the answer now without any hesitation, right? That is the end of the class. Let me use a few time to entertain any question. There's any? Yes?
Sir, please go back.
You said?
Please go back.
Okay. The assignment, quickly, before we call it a day. You are to mention 3 advantages of belt drive. Number 1, you are to list 3 types of belt and pulley. Is that clear? Okay. Any question from anybody before I go? Any question? Just speak up if there's any question for me. Speak up if there's any question. In the absence of question, thank you for listening. May God bless you in Jesus' name. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you once again for using me to impart the students. Thank you for the better understanding that you've given them. May everything that I've taught them today sink to their memory, for in Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.